Welcome in our viewers. We are just underway here at the Golden One Center in Sacramento. A top 10 showdown between UCLA and Oklahoma. Sahara Williams inside the lane goes strong, gets denied. A wall of defenders for the Bruins. Kicked outside. Peyton Verhulst, three, better than two.
And that has to upset UCLA's head coach Corey Close, because they got Williams a bit out of control on 2 attempts, but she was able to easily get her own rebound, leading to that kick out three.
There's Gianna Neekins, the transfer from Utah, number 8 in white. Inside to Jaquez. And that one tipped out of bounds.
And here's that triple for the Sooners. It was Williams on her own miss, kicking out to Peyton Verhulst. And she was second in the SEC last year, making 83 threes. You can't leave her alone.
Good hands by Chavez, taking it away. Open floor, she is dangerous, but Kiki Rice back there to send that one out of bounds.
Ooh, Kiki Rice letting the freshman know it is not going to be an easy night here in Sacramento. Just walling up. Wow, perfect job of staying vertical, dropping that hand a little bit, but all ball for Rice.
Chavez gets it inside. Verhulst hit the three, now inside for the 2 off glass. Verhulst was second team all SEC last season. A big time scorer for the Sooners. Angela Dugalich on the floor, kicks it inside in the high-low, and Betts with the travel. So a good start for the young Oklahoma Sooners. 5 of their 11 players are freshmen.
And that was Sahara Williams who dug in at the ball, coming down to force that turnover.
Betts inside, rejects it. Charlie Sledger-Walker ahead to Jaquez. Oh, and one. What a finish.
We've got early action at both ends. Lauren Betts just swallowing that ball up, and then Ledger-Walker, beautiful dime up to Jaquez, who can finish with the best of them in transition, absorbs the contact, gets this crowd into it. Nice crowd here in neutral site game on a Monday night.
And in case you're wondering why we are here in Sacramento at the Golden One Center, this will be the site of the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8. Women's college basketball has 2 sites. This will be one of them on the road to the Final Four. These 2 teams could very well meet back here in March. Backdoor, Verhulst somehow squeezes that one up and in.
And what an upgrade this arena will be to some of the sites that we've been at in recent years. This is a gorgeous arena. The fans are going to love it here.
Home of the Sacramento Kings in the NBA today. You are treated to some high-level women's college basketball inside the 6-7 Betts. Kicks it back. Jaquez gets denied. Verhulst there, and I think they're looking to say it's last touched by Jaquez.
We've got players just slicing through the lane.
Ooh, I think they were right. Bruins get a break to retain possession.
That is something that coaches can now appeal at any point of the game. A foul on the 3-point attempt for Neekins.
Corey Close in her 15th season at UCLA, the all-time winningest coach in UCLA women's basketball history. Her mentor, John Wooden. As Aaliyah Chavez picking up that second personal on the 3 ball from Gianna Neekins. So Neekins, the 5th-year senior out of Duluth, Minnesota, spent 4 seasons at Utah. And that is Jenny Baranchek, done a fabulous job at Oklahoma now in her 5th year. She has taken the Sooners to the NCAA tournament all 4 years, 20-plus wins all 4 seasons. Last year took the Sooners to the Sweet 16, and these 2 teams had one thing in common. They both lost to UConn, the eventual national champion last year in the NCAA tournament.
And this will be an interesting moment with Chavez having to go to the bench early, because if there's something that Oklahoma doesn't have a ton of, at least right now not developed, is a lot of depth. So we'll see how they fare with their point guard on the bench.
The Bruins bring some pressure. The trap. Oklahoma gets it inside, but again, Williams denied in the paint. Jump ball. And Possession arrow will stay on this end. Shot clock to 20. That is Sahara Williams, the 5'11 junior out of Waterloo, Iowa. Zaya Van, the one inbounding, gets it over the top to Beers. Van, step back, mid-range jumper, too strong. Reagan Beers had a minute, and now it's Kiki Rice going the other way. Rice leaves it short. Oklahoma in transition. Verhulst, little hesitation, got the defender up. Here's reverse pivot jumper, nothing but net.
And now we've seen each of the players in that matchup pull the other out a little bit. We saw Betts hit an elbow jumper, now Beers taking it out to the free throw line.
These are two of the strongest and most dominant low post players. We were talking about it, you made a great point, how they both love to battle for position. But they're showing off their versatility so far in this one. Here's Van, gives it a go from deep and knocks it true.
Yeah, that's how Oklahoma plays. There's a green light really at any point in the shot clock. Early threes, quick threes, and Van stepping into that point guard role right now with Chavez on the bench, knocks it down.
Van's a sophomore, an Oklahoma product out of Edmond, about 30 miles from Norman, the campus of Oklahoma. That is Jaquez with the floater. The three now goes inside.
What a take from Van, really multiple players on Oklahoma and UCLA side as well, really able to find their way through the paint early in this game.
If the name Van sounds familiar, her older sister, an absolute star, that's Gianna Neepkins, one of the best pure shooters in basketball.
She shot 50% from deep last year at Utah.
She was 89% from the foul shot, otherwise she would have been a 50, 40, 90. Like the definition of pure shooter. Good backdoor cut from Reagan Beers, but Betts is there to deny. And now look at Betts run. UCLA in transition hitting Jaquez. Well done by the Bruins.
Very dangerous team because they can all get up quickly and they make good decisions with the ball.
Inside, Williams spins, can't hit. Angela Dugalich with the rebound, gets it to Rice. Oh, Rice crossover, dips that shoulder, denied. What good defense, the timing by the freshman, Keziah Lofton. And now we go the other way, and Van again. Van has been electric here in the first quarter, and you mentioned it, stepping up big with the foul trouble to Chavez.
Yeah, I mean, the pace of this game, the players are still waiting for that under 5 timeout. They are up and down. They're a little gassed right now.
Neepkins penetrates, kicks it to Rice. Now inside to Betts, double team ties her up. The double team was quick by Oklahoma. What a start we have. Fast-paced action in this top 10 matchup. Reagan Beers, the All-American, first team All-SEC last year, hits it on one end, denied though on the other. It's UCLA trailing by 2, the 6th-ranked Sooners.
And the opportunity to chat with her today, and then we had to chat with the young lady sitting right behind her now in foul trouble, Aaliyah Chavez. But Coach Bronchek obviously has things going in Norman, landing the #1 recruit in the class.
Ledger Walker right at the shot clock buzzer, puts it up, but it won't go down, and the Sooners will set up. Van has 7 of the last 9 Oklahoma points, gets it inside. Brooklyn Stewart, another one of the 5 freshmen on this roster, number 21 in red, gives way to Van. Now Lofton, the lefty, off iron. Dugalich with another rebound. The Bruins running. Well done off the bench. That's Amanda Muse, the redshirt sophomore. had to watch last season and is out there making a difference this season for UCLA.
Yeah, that was a beautiful rim run. She's probably seen her teammate Lauren Betts do that for a couple years now. She took good notes.
The rip by Angela Dugalich, last year's Bruins leader in steals at 6'4". Neepkins draws the D into the paint. Good decision, kicks it out. Now Jaquez. Baseline drive. Dugalich is rewarded. The 3-ball is true.
Jaquez just makes such good decisions with the ball. She puts the pressure on the defense by getting to the paint. And then a good relocation from Dugalich.
Nice floater from Verhulst, but it won't go down. Dugalich evades the trap. Jaquez is open, and she drains it. Coming off a career-high 4 made threes in the Bruins' last game against UC Santa Barbara, and she stays hot. A 13-2 run by UCLA, and Oklahoma forced to take a timeout. Bruins lead by 6.
You must survive what's coming next.
There's only one more episode before the Special Forces season finale.
Who has got the grit to keep going?
Let the games begin.
Special Forces World's Toughest Test, all new Thursday on Fox.
It's Fox College Football Friday.
Give me everything you got. Let's go get this win.
Minnesota takes on Dante Moore at 9th-ranked Oregon.
Oh, my goodness. Look at the kid go.
Friday night at 9 Eastern on Fox.
Well, out of the last time out, it has been all UCLA. It's a metric that Corey Close pays very close attention to, and they listened to their coach after the last time out.
Yeah, the word I've heard her use the most in the last couple of years of covering the team, response. She's always looking for a response. They did just that out of that first media timeout.
Dugalich already had a steal, that time rotating and flipping that one away, and the Bruins have it. Another turnover forced by UCLA. Ledger Walker reading the defense, kicks it out. Dugalich, long three. That one is left short. Williams grabs the carom.
Coach Baranchik has put Aaliyah Chavez back in the game. With those 2 fouls, she makes an impact right away, pushing that ball up with pace. And that's a risk that Jenny's willing to take right now. After that run, her offense started to look a little out of sync. So she's, I'm sure, had a chat with her young player. You cannot pick up this 3rd foul here before we get to halftime.
It's a lot of trust in an 18-year-old true freshman to play in the first half with 2 fouls. And not even the first half, the first quarter with 2 personals, but UCLA going on a run when Chavez took the bench. Amanda Muse is back getting a rest. Lauren Betts back on the floor. Some good minutes for the redshirt sophomore Muse. So both free throws knocked down. Oklahoma pulls within 4 in a fast-paced game. Oklahoma averaged almost 85 points per game last year. They love to go up and down the floor. And UCLA has matched them and even exceeded with this 4-point advantage. Rice inside, kicks it to Neepkins. And Betts grabs the miss, goes up, can't get it to go. Beers was there in defense like a wall. Chavez, beautiful find. Williams with the left. Ooh, that vision was nice.
You can just sense how the rhythm of this team changes when she's on the floor. That's why she's back on there right now with 2 fouls. She's gotten them buckets 2 times down the floor now.
Chavez, a 5'10" freshman from Lubbock, Texas, the #1 rated point guard in the class of 2025. Here's Rice. Battle for the rebound inside. Both Beers and Betts go down to the ground for the jump ball, and possession arrow to the Sooners.
Coach Close shaking her head a little bit. That may have been a little early to take the shot for Kiki Rice. They could have run it down to get the last shot of the quarter. Now Oklahoma, who can get the ball up faster than anybody in the country. This is like an eternity for them to try to get a bucket here.
UCLA extends their defense. Chavez tracks it down. Trying to create, flips it to Williams at the buzzer, and they got it. And they will review it, but it looked good from here courtside. Sahara Williams ready and got rid of it quickly.
Yeah, let's see if it leaves her hand before that. Oh, no, that's going to be late. You see that red circle lighting up? We couldn't see the time, but they look at that red light first, so they're going to have to wave that one off. But what an attempt in 4.1 seconds.
They've already been able to beat the buzzer at the end of the quarters a couple of times this season. They did it in game one twice. Couldn't get it that time. At the end of one, we got a high-paced game. It's 24-22. Of one, Aaliyah Chavez, the #1 ranked point guard in the nation, and her teammates have told her, you need to be more selfish, which every shooter loves to hear. That time, nearly completing the pass, but maybe could have shot it herself before the buzzer went off.
Yeah, I thought maybe a little too unselfish there, but I mean, you do have the impact of Lauren Betts, who was kind of haunting her at 6'7", but that's maybe one where Chavez could have gone up and under the rim. But the young player, really phenomenal that they even got that attempt. But that one, they may review it in the film session, say, Aaliyah, you got to keep the ball and just go there.
That's a couple of assists, 2 personal fouls. Has yet to enter the scorebook. Here's Betts. Hit a long jumper to start the game. That one had too much on it. Here's Chavez. Charlize Ledger-Walker there to bat that one out of bounds, and the defense will be able to set up. The field goal percentage pretty even for both squads. As Peyton Verhulst, the redshirt senior, gets ready to initiate, and a foul away from the ball. That one will go against Reagan Beers.
Number 15, Reagan Beers, for Oklahoma.
That's the first personal on Reagan Beers. She has a bucket. Lauren Betts has a bucket. They've mostly canceled each other out here in this top 10 showdown. Ledger-Walker into the lane, calls her own number, too strong. She spent 4 years at Washington State. Ooh, and an elbow against Lauren Betts. She comes away holding that cheek.
I think they actually called that on Beers. I think this is another foul on Beers, back to back. Let's take a look at the replay. Ooh, yeah. I don't know if Beers meant to do that, but it's certainly an elbow swing above the face, or above the shoulders, right into the face of Lauren Betts. So that's 2 really quick fouls, back to back for Reagan Beers. She has to head to the bench.
So now Chavez with 2 personals, the point guard, and their center Reagan Beers with 2 personals. Their depth will be tested. Dugalich extends the arm, and that is an offensive foul on the 6th-year senior.
Yeah, the officials doing a nice job. I don't know if Corey Close agrees with that one, but I thought that was a pretty clear extension of that arm. Officials calling the offensive fouls on both ends. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, I mean, Sahara Williams is just, she's going to be in your face like a football player. Dugalich dropped that shoulder a little bit, extended the arm.
Dugalich has provided some good energy at that 4 spot. She now has 2 personals. A fadeaway left short by Verhulst. Oh, and then the takeaway. Smart play by Peyton Verhulst. Can't connect. Kiki Rice has the miss, and she will run. Flips it to Ledger-Walker, back to Rice, feet set. Too strong, Dugalich, the hustle rebound. Ledger-Walker gets it over to Rice. The ball movement finds Betts inside, double team, closes quickly, but too much, and the foul will go against Verhulst.
Yeah, with Reagan Beers on the bench with 2 fouls, they don't have a lot of post depth, so if I'm UCLA, I'm trying to get Lauren Betts a touch every possession. They do that here. Oklahoma has been sending a quick double, but Verhulst gets 2 hands on the arm there.
So not in the act of shooting. Dugalich on the baseline out of bounds play gets hacked in the act. Will go against Beatrice Culleton, her first personal. Our officials have done a nice job. Myrna Pantoja is leading the crew. She's worked multiple Final Fours. Mike McConnell, Felicia Grinter on the crew. There's a good crew for this top 10 matchup in Sacramento. Dugalich started her career at Oregon, a native of Des Plaines, Illinois. At 6'4", very athletic, an excellent defender. She can guard 1 through 5. Had a a green light last year from the three-point line.
You never want a red light.
No, you don't. Well, I mean, nobody wants a red light, that's for sure. But she had the green light given last year. She shot a career high 35% from the three-point line, so very versatile at 6'4". Here's Chavez, number 2 in the crimson and cream. UCLA's defense led them to a Final Four a year ago, and their defense stifles on that possession. Nearly given away. Dugalich, it is taken away. Zaya Van, her 9th point here in the first half. The sophomore.
Van has given really good minutes. She had to take over that point guard spot when Chavez went out early. She kept the team rolling, got some buckets. She brings great energy on the defensive end.
One of the key X factors for the Sooners is Van. And now a foul called underneath.
Yeah, this has been a physical game, an intense game. And then just when you think UCLA, they force the turnover, Zaya Van gets it right back. One of the tiniest players on the floor, but she's bringing confidence, she's bringing a motor. She's made a really big impact here in the first half.
Her big sister Skylar was the Big 12 Player of the Year in 2024 for the Sooners. A baller family. Her dad, Bryant, played at Oklahoma as well under Billy Tubbs back in 1992-93. So Boomer Sooner is loud and proud in the Van household, and boy, is she playing well. She averaged just a tick under 7 points per game last year off the bench, and she's well above that here in the first half.
Yeah, I was reading an article coming into this one where Jenny Baranchek had said Zaya Van's really our dark horse for just how good our team can be. She really labeled her as kind of the X factor. When she's playing well, the team is playing well, and that's certainly evident here.
So no Reagan Beers with 2 fouls, the All-American center for the Sooners. Chavez playing with 2 personals as well. The pressure for UCLA extends. Chavez pulls it and hits it. That's the first bucket of the game for the true freshman point guard.
Yeah, and credit to her. She's probably almost played about, 8 minutes or so with those 2 fouls, and she has yet to pick up the third. She's been smart on both ends.
And it gives Oklahoma the lead. Betts inside, bodies everywhere, and she flips it in.
And that's only her second field goal of the game. Oklahoma has been sending her quick doubles, triples, but that time finds an easier look.
Spinning away, getting a good look for Van, but it won't drop. Bruins reverse the ball. Ledger Walker, straight line drive, too much. And Betts can't get that rebound, working hard for it. The Bruins offense has gone cold here in the second quarter. Chavez pull up, that's her money shot. As good of a three-point shooter as she is just about automatic from that mid-range spot. Couldn't hit that one though. Neepkins into the lane and off window and down. Neepkins is a 3-level scorer. On the draft board right now, a projected first-round draft pick in the WNBA. She's a 5th-year senior.
Lauren Betts, she has had to work for every touch she gets, and that time she just got such deep positioning. There wasn't much Oklahoma could do. They tried to send somebody from the weak side, but it was a little bit too late. And then Neepkins, at first I thought she may get whistled with a little bit of a clamp there, but no call. She's able to get her way. As you said, 50% from 3 last season, but she really has a full offensive package, which is why she's really difficult to defend. You have to pick and choose what you're going to try to take away first.
Yeah, Neepkins will get to the free throw line. I think it was 121 free throw attempts last year, so she is not scared to get in that lane. Not just a shooter, that is for sure. Lauren Betts has it at the top. She's a projected #1 overall pick in the WNBA draft. Can't hit the jumper. Rice. Johnny on the spot. Kicks it to Neekins. The pure shooter has another one. Chavez wants to answer. Won't go. Left it short. Betts working hard, has deep position, and tipped away nicely from behind. The Sooners take the turnover, and they try to run. It was Kaya Smith, the 6'1" sophomore, getting in and drawing a foul. A very fast first quarter. We have settled down here in the second. It's been a slugfest, but Neepkins from 3 gives the Bruins a 6 on Fox. Gianna Neepkins, the 5th-year senior, spent 4 years at Utah. She is an absolute pure shooter, 43% career from deep, and she's hit some here tonight.
Yeah, what a get for Corey Close. I thought Gianna Neepkins was maybe the most underrated player on a national scale last year. There weren't a lot of people talking about her despite the numbers she's put up. She's the first player in this game into double digits, 10 points, 2 of 3 from deep, and as we saw on that nice drive, she can hit the mid-range. She can take it. She's a 6-foot guard. There's WNBA scouts in the building tonight.
They were here at shoot-around, Kim.
Yeah, and you see that highlighted year. She had an injury. She played only 8 games in that season, and then she came back last year and really put up those incredible numbers. And I think her stock and just the people that know about her is going to rise tremendously now that she's in Westwood.
High volume, high efficiency from the three-point line for Neepkins. She's had 253 makes with a percentage of 43 from deep. That is...
Yes, I have to correct that. I said 50 before. That was her overall field goal percentage, but not far behind 45% from 3.
Yeah, she is just dead eye. Here's Jaquez. Short. Dugalich with the rebound and puts it up and in. They've kicked it out for 3-point looks after the offensive rebound. That time Dugalich just put it up and in herself. So a 9-0 UCLA scoring run. Williams triggers from long range and Betts has the board. Neepkins, 2-player game with Betts underneath and gets another bucket.
And on that drive, that's an impact of Lauren Betts and players not wanting to help off of her. That opens up an open lane for Neepkins, an open baseline drive.
Another missed jumper for Oklahoma. Their offense has gone cold. Betts running the floor. Kiki Rice says, let's run something. A 10-point UCLA advantage here with 3 minutes and change left in the first half. Rice, the big 1-2, kicks it out. Jaquez, no. And Aaliyah Chavez will push after the rebound. Culleton triggers the jumper, and that was smooth.
Oklahoma trying to keep some offense going with Reagan Beers on the bench with 2 fouls. Again, if you just join us, Aaliyah Chavez has played a lot of this first half with 2 fouls.
Oklahoma ended a scoring drought of 4 minutes and 15 seconds with that jumper from Culleton. No Reagan Beers. She had 29 points in game 1, the victory versus Belmont. This was UCLA.
Yeah, Dugalich just found herself wide open, nobody blocking her out. Gianna Neepkins, we were just talking about her impact. Finds a nice little left side drive, and Lauren Betts walked herself up the lane a little bit to open that up. That's the synergy that this team is really developing with a couple of talented new pieces on the floor.
Little tangled up. Lena Bilic, the 6'3" freshman guard from Croatia, onto the floor for Corey Kluse's Bruins.
This has been a physical one. Yeah, that's the right call. Bilic wrapped her around from behind. She's going to have to go right back to the bench.
Hey, you mentioned football earlier. It's almost like a swim move when a defensive lineman is getting held. Just get off me, and drawing that foul and another.
Literally different players, same exact play. That time it was Amanda Muse. Reagan Beers back in the game with the 2 fouls, and Muse just tries to wrap around her. You're allowed an arm bar. You can play her from behind with the arm bar, but you can't wrap around. Back-to-back fouls against UCLA on the same play.
And Reagan Beers back onto the floor, the 6'4" senior out of Littleton, Colorado. You mentioned her and Betts, both from the state of Colorado. They grew up, played together in middle school. And here she is working.
That's quite an easy call for the officials. She wrapped her twice, really.
Free throw won't go for Reagan Beers. She's a 68% career foul shooter. And I think she has the potential this year as a senior to be in the 70s. She's got a nice touch. Eakins can't get in the lane. This time she'll pull up. That is just silky smooth.
I thought she got hit too. Coming down, that could have been an N1.
Verholz trying to answer quickly. Won't go. Neepkins with the rebound. Neepkins is up to 14 first half points. Kiki Rice sees Reagan Beers, turns the other way. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Kiki Rice with the left hand. The reverse isn't gonna go, and Jaquez leaves that one on the rim. Boy, UCLA had a couple of good looks that wouldn't drop. Van, long range, short, Beers, and one. That is the strength that Reagan Beers has. She can power through any kind of foul and still finish.
Yeah, Reagan Beers had been sidelined for a couple minutes with 2 fouls. She's come in with a ton of energy. Gets the N1, and Corey Close is going right back to her bench to put Lauren Betts in because the reserves have not done a very good job of defending Beers since she came back in.
A ball off the fingertips of Betts. She wipes her hands, but the Bruins have it. Boy, the hustle from Zahara Williams back there is just an absolute menace in a great way. Boy, she will make you think about her when she is guarding you. She's got the matchup with Kiki Rice. Dugalich. Too much. And Zaya Van has the rebound for the Sooners. Beers, Verholz on the cut, and it rolls in.
Great read from Reagan Beers, who pulled herself up towards that top of the key. Great teammates cutting and passing.
Rice all the way to the cup with the left. Dugalich back defensively, deflects it, and last touch by Dugalich. Good defense, getting back the 6'4" forward.
Reagan Beers above the 3-point line. Just a nice curl cut across the lane from Peyton Verholst. And I think that's what they need a little bit more of. At times, they've been a little crowded in the lane. That time, beautiful spacing to open up that cut.
Verholst, second team All-SEC last year. Had a triple-double versus 13th ranked Duke in her career. Her mom played at Duke, so I'm sure she had a lot to say after that one. And she can light it up. Here's Chavez. Leaves it short. Dugalich has it. UCLA can settle for one final shot. Chavez, so quick, almost took that one away. It is a great matchup. The #1 rated point guard, Kiki Rice, in 2022, and Chavez in 2025. Rice jumper won't go, and a foul. And that will benefit the Bruins. Coming up, it's the FS1 College Hoops Halftime Report, powered by Ram. Nothing stops Ram. Mike Hill, the one and only, will be in our Los Angeles studio and will profile UCLA superstar Lauren Betts. But that was a foul for UCLA that you just cannot afford. Less than 5 seconds to go before halftime, and Clock stops and Van a chance to hit some free throws.
But coach she went to her bench, she put in Gianna Neepkins. So they're gonna, plenty of time off of the make or rebound to maybe try to set her up for a three.
So Dugalich, that was her second personal, so she's going to be taken off the floor, and smartly by Jenny Baranchek, she gets Reagan Beers. No chance at a foul here with under 5 seconds to go. So the first free throw, nothing but net for Van. Second one is good as well. She's had a really nice first half for these Sooners. Kiki Rice speeding all the way down and squeezes up the shot, and it won't go. Everything right except for the shot going in the hoop for Kiki Rice on that play. And what a game we have. Oklahoma hanging around against the third-ranked team.
6 in total, 2 of 3 from deep, 3 rebounds as well. But as I said, I'm looking to see how Oklahoma comes out to start this second half. I think Aaliyah Chavez had to play with a little trepidation in that first half when she came back in with 2 fouls, and she's a player who just likes to rip and go.
Here is Chavez, the consensus National Player of the Year last year as a senior in high school. Here's Van looking to add on to her 11 points, leaves it short. The Bruins push. Inside to Betts. Just one defender, it's Beers. Betts shuffles the pivot, and she gets called for the walk.
I liked what she did before that, though. I thought she was more patient that time, because in the first half she was caught off guard a little bit by 2 or 3 players trying to come at her. That time she let the second player come to her. Van went back away, and then she went into her move.
Inside, Verhulst kicks it out. Good body control to get it outside, but the shot won't drop for Williams. Charlie Sledger-Walker, the 6-year senior, started her career at Wazoo, gives it to Jaquez. And Rice trying to kick it inside to Betts, and instead it's kicked away. So the shot clock will be reset to 20. And Kiki Rice, the 5'11 senior at a Sidwell Friends School in Maryland, the McDonald's All-American, will trigger for the Bruins. Betts dribbles into a mid-range look. Collected by Jaquez, and the Bruins will re-rack. Neepkins, ball fake, up and under, money.
Just a smart offensive player. She knows she's going to draw that hard closeout. The defender goes flying, 1 dribble pull-up.
Chavez looking for the reverse, won't drop. 3 looks at the hoop, make it 4. The 4th one is a charm for the Sooners. Ledger Walker 2 feet into the paint. Jaquez is open, won't go. Beers with the board. Verhulst, look at this pass. Inside to Van. What a gorgeous lead look from Peyton Verhulst.
And that's where this Oklahoma team is at their best, just trying to get out with a quick pace. That pass was just perfectly placed to lead Van.
Neepkins off the front rim. Sooners head up from Verhulst. Takes a big screen from Beers. She's open and she drills it. What a run by the Sooners. They're within 1 point. They've come out of halftime and have been on fire. We got a good one here. This top 10 showdown. It's a 1-point game here in the 3rd quarter.
Start for their mom Sooners, because it's been a 6-0 run in just 38 seconds for Oklahoma to get back into this game. We saw Williams on the putback. Zaya Van, the sophomore guard, has been huge throughout this game. And then what a monster screen set by Reagan Beers. Verhulst coming perfectly off of it. And we find ourselves in a 1-point ball game here in Sacramento.
UCLA led by as many as 10 points in the first half. Oklahoma was dealing with some foul trouble. Beers had 2 fouls, Chavez had 2 fouls, but they weathered that, and now they're within 1 point. Oklahoma has 17 double-digit comebacks under Jenny Baranczyk, including 7 times against ranked teams. So,
wow,
she can pull it out. We'll see the answer out of a timeout for Corey Close. Betts kicks it out. Ledger Walker has not scored today. That one slips out of her hand. It's an air ball, and the Sooners take over.
Yeah, UCLA is going to need to find some scoring from guards other than Neepkins, because Betts has been patient. She's making the right reads and kickouts. That's an open look that they have to knock down at a higher clip.
UCLA trying to defend. Chavez slices into the lane, but it won't go. The Bruins reverse it, get it inside, double team to Betts, and it gets ripped away.
And she brought it down low. 6'7". Want to try to keep it up at that chin height.
Beers can hit the 3. That one to the left of the rim and out of bounds. She hit a long bomb in their first game. A win over Belmont.
Coach Baranczyk was just encouraging her, saying, yeah, she gave her a clap. I like you to take that look. Yeah, the one in the first game looked in rhythm, like something she does all the time.
Oklahoma with the momentum right now as they have came back from a double-digit deficit. Neepkins feeds Betts outside, and she drills it.
Beautiful 2-woman action there. Neepkins and Betts. Betts setting a screen, rolling to that short corner. Neepkins makes really good decisions with the ball.
Oklahoma runs a read and react offense. Not as many sets as some programs. They have to read that defense and make the right play, and they do. Beers can't finish, though. Had a point-blank look, it wouldn't go, but Van, again, coming up with a big play. And an offensive foul as Sahara Williams was down low trying to establish position.
And this was a beautiful sequence here. Neepkins curls around the screen, and then instead of rolling right to the block, Betts steps out to that short corner. There was some good range there, and Neepkins gets it back to her.
Ledger Walker. That one is money. The first bucket of the night for the Pac-12 MVP of the tournament a couple seasons ago when she was with Washington State.
And that's huge for UCLA because of all of that attention going to Betts in the post. And credit to Betts in this second half. She's been really patient. She's passed out of the doubles, but her teammates need to be ready to knock them down. And she does it just that.
Verhulst loses her feet, but is able to kick it over to Beers. On the deck, inside, draws contact. Charlize Ledger Walker, the New Zealand product, an All-American honorable mention at Wazoo, finally gets her first bucket.
Yeah, these two, Kiki Rice, still learning each other a little bit. 2 point guards. Kiki Rice, so good at getting into the paint, staying under control, and then kicking it out to her shooter, Charlize Ledger Walker. She had been off the floor for about a year and a half with that ACL tear that she happened to do on the floor of UCLA when she was playing against them, and now finds herself back there.
Yeah, it was just a terrible development for Charlize Ledger Walker. Sat out all of last season. The best player in the history of the Washington State program. Took him to the NCAA tournament 3 times in a row when she was there and healthy. And here she is, ball in her hand, hit the 3, and she can get hot in a hurry, and beautiful fadeaway goes. And now she has the rip, but they say there was a foul first impeding Chavez. And Charlize Ledger Walker giving the Bruins a lift. She is good in every phase. Here, crossover, puts the rookie on the rails and gets a bucket. And so the review on the floor was whether or not the foul should have been charged to Angela Dugalic at the 5:09 mark. Dugalic now with 4 fouls in the books.
Yeah, so this is a correctable error. They called it on Dugalic originally, but after going to the monitor, they're now going to change the call to be on Lauren Betts.
And that is a big deal. Betts now with 1 personal. Dugalic was in the book with 4. And we still have 4:53 to play here in the third. So that would have really put a damper on Dugalic's ability to get on the floor until the final moments of this game, or final minutes rather. She's got 11 rebounds and 8 points, does Dugalic. She's been very active. The Bruins force the turnover. Jaquez lowers the shoulder, gets to the rim, but it won't go. Chavez pulls it from deep. Oh, it rattled all the way around and wouldn't go. Rice. And Betts and Beers gets tangled up, and that will be the foul against Beers. That will be her 3rd personal. And boy, it's just the way basketball goes. They have just been battling for position. That time, a little arm bar, and Betts does a nice job of ripping through it to force that foul call. Little trouble getting it in. Tried to lob it. Nearly taken away by Oklahoma. Now a map scramble, and the Bruins have it.
The intensity in this game is just unmatched with how hard all 10 of these players on the floor play.
Neepkins takes the screen from Betts. Fade away. Money.
Scouts in the building have to like that one.
Gianna.
Fade away.
Yeah. Neepkins is tough. Such an efficient scorer. And she has been efficient here today. 7 of 9 for 18 points. The Bruins force the miss, and Ledger Walker has it. Inside, Betts, great position. No Beers on the floor, and Betts gets the seal, does an early job to get that bucket. UCLA with a run, 11-1. The Bruins on an 11-1 run, and Gianna Neepkins, how good are you? 7 of 9 for 18 points tonight.
And then the other transfer on the team, Charlize Ledger-Walker, she's really hit another gear here in the second half. That was not an easy pass. She somehow perfectly gets it through a crevice. Credit to Betts as well on the catch. And it is now an 11-1 run for the Bruins over 2.5 minutes or so.
Charlize Ledger-Walker along with Kiki Rice, 2 true point guards. Ledger-Walker, 12 assists coming into tonight in 2 games. That's a 6 average for those that are slow at math. Here's a 3. Verhulst wanted it straight on, but off the back rim. Nice old board. Van couldn't get it. And Betts comes away with a rebound. Lauren Betts now 9 points to go along with 5 rebounds. Ledger-Walker, head up. On the deck, no call, we play on. Ledger-Walker is a little gimpy getting up. Oh, denied. Kiki Rice, the second time she has timed it up beautifully in transition here tonight.
Yeah, Bruin fans in the building, we're loving that one. Kiki Rice, I mean, she can get after it on the defensive end, and she does a really nice job on that play and other plays in this game of just walling up to the defender, getting to her position, staying vertical.
Oh, turnover. Van to Williams. Sahara Williams just always around the ball. That time she didn't force the turnover, but was the recipient of Van doing work. So Ledger Walker off the floor. Looked like she got banged up a little bit. Hopefully she's okay. Here's Rice slicing in the lane and draws the contact. Beatrice Culleton will be called for the personal, her second.
Zaya Van, who's been an incredible player for Oklahoma tonight, 5'9", just sneaks in that passing lane and gets it over to Sahara Williams. And the two best players for Oklahoma on the bench right now, Chavez and Beers. But we've seen this in times of the game where other players have really elevated their play when those two have gone out.
Well, Van has had an outstanding game. A 5'9" sophomore from Edmond, Oklahoma, two-time state champ at Bethany High School at the 4A level in Oklahoma. So all the Sooners fans loving when their talent stays home, and she certainly has played well in this one, the leading scorer for the Sooners. With the Sooners trying to make a run with two of their stars on the bench right now, Chavez and Beers. They trail by 11. Van inside the lane, and Betts spikes that one to the hardwood. Shot clock winding down. Williams recognizes it, but the shot won't go, and Jaquez has the miss. Last year, UCLA made it to the Final Four, and their defense was a major reason why, and they have put the clamps down here over the last few minutes. Betts, 6'7", backs her way down, but leaves it on the rim. Good hustle from Jaquez, tipping that one away, and she comes away with a steal.
Jaquez just has such great defensive instincts and put that together with her length and speed. Just a really dangerous player on that end.
Jaquez, the McDonald's All-American in high school, the younger sister of Jaime Jaquez with the Miami Heat. Also a former UCLA Bruin. And the foul called on the floor here with just over a minute to go. And Oklahoma will go back to Beers and Chavez. Almost a platoon sub for Oklahoma here, so some fresh legs for the final minute of the third. Rice uses the Dugalich screen. Now she pops back to three and drills it. That is 6-4, folks. Here's Chavez. The pull-up jumper. Quick possession, and now UCLA will run. 3-on-2. Kiki Rice calls her own number. Really didn't have good spacing on that transition, and Oklahoma looks to counter. All the way in, the lefty, Keziah Lofton, it won't go. Beers with the rebound. That one is denied, and finally the whistle comes. Boy, there have been some scraps inside the lane fighting for the rebound.
Yeah, what a sequence. You got to come with your laces tightened up in this game. Dugalich now up to 11 points. She's done a lot of screening and popping. She's setting that low screen for Rice, and then she's able to come out and knock it down from behind the arc. Nobody close enough to her on the closeout.
Charlie Ledger Walker will be back on the floor for UCLA, the 6-year senior out of New Zealand. And you mentioned Dugalich, a double-double now, 11 points, 11 rebounds. Also has an assist, so Dugalich has really played well. An efficient game for the 6-year senior.
Yeah, she's a perfect example of just the level of experience and maturity of this UCLA team. When you ask the players today, what's your biggest strength of this team, they all said just that.
Maturity, that's what they mentioned, and Dugalich with another rebound for an even dozen. Here's Gianna Neepkins working on Chavez, takes a screen from Hughes. Here's Neepkins, pull it, why not? That one too strong. Peyton Verholz, she'll pull it at the buzzer. She got it. They have a knack. That is the 4th shot to beat the buzzer in, we are just game 2 of this season. There's always time on the clock for the Sooners.
Peyton Verhulst, straight bottom of the net here. That was a deep three to give her Oklahoma team some life. They're going to have to overcome a double-digit deficit in that. Lady Lauren Betts right there. Come back for one more quarter. And then notably, Aaliyah Chavez, #1 player coming out of high school, has just had a tough shooting night. She's sitting on just 3 points, 1 of 12 shooting. Can those two find a little bit of magic here to make another run at it?
All right, Chavez has had some good looks that have just ran around the rim and gone off. Here's Neepkins off the back rim, and Beers has the board. She will push herself. Beers has adjusted well to the high-paced tempo at Oklahoma after transferring from Oregon State. This is Lofton, the lefty, turns and gives it back to Beers. 5 on the shot clock. Stewart will let it fly, rattles out. Beers with the rebound and then tied up. Oh no, Reagan Beers is on the ground. She's grabbing at her knee. Oh, Reagan Beers, the senior. Want to see her be able to get up. She is in some pain, and she is one of the toughest players that you are going to find. The senior out of Littleton, Colorado. Broke her nose against this UCLA team a couple of seasons ago. Missed a couple of games, and then was able to power through, and it's great seeing Reagan Beers get up on her own power, still in some pain.
Fingertips, checks in for Oklahoma. Jump ball, Oklahoma possession.
I'll take another look at it here. Look, ooh, looks like she came down, and then Neepkins hit her from the front. Certainly looks like she's in a lot of pain.
Oh, Verhulst able to can that jump shot. And a lot of concern over with Reagan Beers. But she pulls Oklahoma to within 9. Neepkins flips it inside. Betts brings it down, and it gets stripped away by Stewart. Last touch by the Sooners. As the training staff continues to check on Reagan Beers. 6 points and 11 rebounds for the first team All-SEC pick last year as a junior. Ledger Walker looking to post entry, gets it to Betts. Balled up by Culleton. And they will call the hold. See a little frustration from Lauren Betts as
I want to make sure she gets her call, rightfully so. Really, anytime Beers has been out of the game, the players who come in are severely undersized.
Oh, what a block by Brooklyn Stewart. Chavez leaking out, and there's her bucket that she's looking for, her second of the night. Maybe that'll get her going here with 8.5 minutes in the fourth quarter. A 7-point lead now for UCLA. Dugalich, 3 ball. She has been the player of the game for the Bruins. Now 14 points and 12 boards. She's made 3 threes on 5 shots tonight.
Look at Jaquez all over Chavez, denying her.
And Betts just pounds that one out of bounds.
Quite a block. And then finally, Aaliyah Chavez, she's been sitting on 1 field goal. That's more like the Chavez that we saw at the high school level. She hasn't really shown what she's capable of today, but still plenty of time in this game.
That ball slipping out of Verholt's hands. It's an air ball. And UCLA has it. A 10-point lead after the 3 ball from Dugalich. This UCLA team has so much depth. There are future pros and national team members all over the court for the Bruins. And, oh, that is an amazing sight to see for every college basketball fan as Reagan Beers back onto the floor. What a relief. You see a player go down, and it looked like a non-contact injury, and she's grabbing at the knee. You have nightmares about that, but she looks like she is good to go. And Kiki Rice in the lane with her offhand gets it to go.
She's just so assertive and confident right now. She missed a lot of the summer recovering from a shoulder injury. She looks good to start this season.
Here's Beers, guarded by the 6'7" Betts. And the whistle blows. Lauren Betts, you can almost read her mind like, where's that for me?
Kiki Rice is a fundamental player. Use that jump stop, young players. And then, what a basket it's been. That's going to be a meme.
If an expression could say 1,000 words, right? I mean, I give a ton of credit to both Beers and Betts because the officials have a hard job. They are so strong, and they are so good at getting deep position. The opponents almost have to foul them, or it's going to be 50 points every night, and the officials have a tough job. But for those two players, they take so much contact.
Yeah. And it's incredible to go back again. They told us they were teammates for 3 years in middle school. Reagan Beers was playing the point guard, just lobbing it in the Betts.
Yeah. Lauren said she was 6 feet tall in the 6th grade. Betts was the point guard. Jaquez, another 3-ball for the Bruins, and a quick timeout for Corey Close. Momentum gives her team a little respite here. And this UCLA team, as good as they are, they're still missing Tamia Gardner and Sienna Betts, one of the top prospects in the nation. They got a 14-point lead. In the fourth quarter, less than 7 to play, UCLA with a 14-point advantage. Two of the best centers in the nation. Reagan Beers and Lauren Betts, both from Colorado. They grew up with one another, played together in middle school, played against each other in high school. Lauren Betts winning a couple of state championships, and the two have battled it out. They haven't had big games offensively, but that's what you expect. These are two future pros going at it.
Right. It hasn't been the prettiest, most efficient offense, which typically those two are shooting 60, 70%, but they're doing such a good job of defending the other. They're physical. There hasn't been much separation in this game. 7 points for Beers, but 11 rebounds, 9 and 7 for Lauren Betts right now. But even if the points aren't necessarily what they typically are or will be for those two, that's what opens up other things for their teammates, as we're seeing other teammates step up tonight. Peyton Verholz, 16, Zaya Van, 13, Gianna Neepkins, 18. And a lot of those opportunities come because of how much attention goes to those two of the best in the country at what they do in the post.
And it's nice. They respect each other. They're going at it again there. And Betts 6'7" frame, able to disrupt Beers. And they're both really good competitive centers that are strong, but they're also two really nice, sweet young ladies.
And hearing you reference her height at 6'7" just triggered me, because we just had a 6'7" cam at the timeout here at the Golden One Center of people just doing the 6'7" thing, which maybe I'm getting
everybody
old,
at
but
home.
I can't stand it.
Every time I say 6'7", all the kids at home give me the signal. Underneath, Oklahoma trying to get one to go. They've had trouble against this defense of UCLA in the length. They're shooting just 30% from the floor, and that is what UCLA does. They're a different looking roster at some positions, UCLA, but bringing that same tough field goal defense. Kiki Rice pull up, won't go. Beers with another rebound. She's been very active on the glass. She's got 12. Verholst off the back iron. Boy, Van got up quickly, but couldn't tip that one to herself. Boy, that was explosive. She just hopped right over the defense for that. So UCLA looking to add on to this 14-point lead. Betts one-on-one with Reagan Beers. able to get the shot off, but it won't drop in. Chavez gets it to Williams. Need it, didn't get it. And a stoppage of play. Our official Mike McConnell with the whistle, and I'm not really sure.
I thought he called a foul from behind on the box out for a second, but he didn't signal anything at the table.
I think the players are confused too, as they're having to wave over UCLA to inbound the
It
basketball.
was just a rebound and then a whistle.
Well, I didn't hear any announcement of what the call was, so we play on. Angela Dugalich gets it to Charlize Ledger-Walker, now gets it back. And stepping on the sideline is Gabriela Jaquez. It's been really good balance for UCLA in this game offensively. We got 18 from Neepkins, 11 from Jaquez, 14 from Dugalich, 9 for Betts, 8 for Rice, 5 for Ledger-Walker, and that's the way it's going to be for UCLA. Oh, Betts getting up there with that long frame, the National Defensive Player of the Year last season. Starts the break. Jaquez can't finish it with a 3, though. The Bruins able to track down that offensive rebound. They've been very active on the glass. Betts able to work inside and the tie-up.
I think one thing that I think Betts can take away from this game, a couple of times she's brought that ball down low, and there Corey Close was calling for a foul, which maybe could have been called, but we've seen Betts kind of bring that ball down to the hip, and she's gotten stripped a couple times.
Betts, good fight for the rebound. Last touch by Williams.
UCLA ball, baseline. Kiki Rice returns for UCLA.
Now look at Betts just getting up, using that frame. And last touched by Sahara Williams. Well, she's such a dog, Williams. Undersized down there, but you know she's going to battle. Oh, Neepkins losing. Chavez. Oh, Neepkins. So good.
Slide record draft boards right now after this performance we have seen from her this evening.
She's at an even 20, 8 of 12. Her efficiency continues here in this top 10 matchup.
She just went to work on this one. She was not giving it up. She got the freshman. Oh, poor Aaliyah Chavez making her national TV debut, gets left behind. What has Gianna Neepkins not shown us offensively tonight? She's up to 20 points, 8 of 12 shooting from the guard spot. Maturity, poise, versatility in her game. Wow, I'm telling you, she's been overlooked the last couple of years. That's about to change.
Rice circles all the way in, around, hits Neepkins now behind the back. That one won't go.
I respect it though. He checked, went right back at it.
I tell you, watching Neepkins at Utah, the one thing you knew is fourth quarter time, she could be quiet. She played with Alyssa Peely, was coached under Lynn Roberts for the first 3 years of her career before Lynn Roberts left to take the LA Sparks head job. And boy, when you listen to, they said that she's just a player that plays at her own pace and gets to her spot and is smart and just a gym rat. And you can see it on display, all the work that she has put in. Backdoor cut, well done, Chavez. That's against a very good defender in Charlize Ledger-Walker, and she got all the way to the rim quickly.
Yeah, and we're going to see so much more from Aaliyah Chavez. This has been a tough outing for her, but she is an incredibly exciting player, explosive player, so keep tuning in to see what Aaliyah Chavez is going to do this season.
She'll pull it here. Won't drop for her. Just hasn't been able to find that offensive rhythm yet tonight. You know it's coming. Just 3 of 15 from the floor. No turnovers, though, for the freshman point guard.
And
Who's taking care of the ball.
And I think she's taken pretty good shots tonight.
Betts able to squeeze the shot off, but won't go. And now the whistle comes.
And yeah, just to continue the thought on Chavez, I think tonight she's had good looks. She just hasn't gotten everything to drop at a high rate. That's a solid backdoor cut. I've seen growth from the first game to the second game against Belmont. She had more points, but she was taking some wild, kind of ill-advised shots. I think her shot selection has been solid here tonight. Unfortunately, she's been in and out and around the rim on a bunch of them.
Well, she also, with this amount of talent that she's playing with, when you're in high school, you have to dominate the ball. You have to take shots that are low percentage because your low percentage is better than a lot of other people's high percentage looks. But she's got a great supporting cast, and it's November. She's just got to figure out. She's a freshman, and she's going to learn. She's extremely talented. And she's playing against a team that can wear you out defensively. That's why UCLA made it to the Final Four a year ago. Lauren Betts just continues to work. 9 points, 10 rebounds for the senior. Last year's Defensive Player of the Year. Has shown some range this year as well.
Yeah, you see her impact on the defensive end. And one of the thing that really impresses me the most about Lauren Betts, is how quick she is this season. We were talking to her earlier in the day, and I think she looks quicker up and down the floor. I think she looks quicker in her movements, but she is always looking to get her position. If you're a post player, just watch her every time down the floor. First of all, she sprints rim to rim, and she goes right into a post up. She tries to get her position early, and even if she's not getting the ball, that's creating opportunities for her teammates because she's sucking in the defense when she posts up that hard.
And she embraces contact. Jaquez into the lane. That takes it and gives it to Rice. She slices all the way to the rim. Kiki Rice getting another bucket. She's in double figures. 4 Bruins are at double figures now, and Betts is at 9.
Yeah, as we said earlier, the players on this team told us their strength is their maturity, their experience. I think it's also their balance. I mean, they've already had 4 players this season with a 20-point game, and it's not just balance, it's an unselfish balance. These players aren't worried about who gets the 20 points on a given night. How can they win and get to where they want to be? Oh, my.
Ooh, spin cycle. Kiki Rice gets it poked away. Oklahoma with a challenging non-conference schedule. They still have NC State, the 10th ranked team who just dropped a loss to the USC women of Troy. And then I love the fact that the in-state rivalry is back. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma will square off on December 13th. Everybody glad to have that rivalry series back.
Oklahoma State, I think they've been scoring like 100 a game, if I'm correct. That's going to be quite the high-flying game.
Kiki Rice had to let that one go with the shot clock winding down. And UCLA, whoo, boy, if you want to get sharpened up and ready to make a run to the Final Four and a potential national championship, the non-conference for Corey Close is going to...
What a cupcake schedule there.
Look at this.
Man. Corey Close just talked about recently just how difficult it's been for her team to schedule because obviously they're a tough team, but that's what everyone wants to see. And Coach Baranchek had spoken on that coming into this matchup. These are the matchup the fans love. I mean, we're 1 week into the season with a top 10 matchup, and the ranked games are just getting started.
I mean, this game right here, there are multiple pros that we are watching right now. We have several Gatorade National Player of the Years. We've got the best point guards coming in. I mean, there's so much talent right now. It's just a joy to watch all this talent and the growth of the women's game. And that's one thing for Corey Close and Jenny Baranchek. They will schedule tough, and they both know they may take an L, but it's good for the game.
And it's good for down the road. I mean, you learn so much in these moments, win or loss, especially maybe a loss, that you're going to go back to the drawing board on in February and March.
Well, the selection committee is watching this game, and they will point back to this game in March. And it's not about what you do in November, but these points stack up in terms of the selection committee and face a top 10 matchup. And I think Oklahoma, being so young with 5 freshmen, handled himself pretty well against a very veteran UCLA squad. And Dugalich, another bucket. What a game she's had. 15 rebounds, 16 points.
I almost want to say she's the unsung hero, but that seems a little disrespectful because she's really been a star in this game, and everything she's done has been off the bench.
Chavez, with that bucket, gets up to double digits. She's got 11 points, but the UCLA Bruins making a big run in the second half to pull away from an Oklahoma Sooner squad that had an upset on their mind. 73-59, the final score. The third-ranked Bruins are still undefeated at 3-0.
This was a really fun one, and Elise, I think on November 10th, we saw experience matter in this game. UCLA, the far older team, mature experience. Oklahoma, a really exciting team with a lot of youth, a ton of freshmen, obviously Aaliyah Chavez. So this Oklahoma Sooner team has a lot more coming. But this UCLA team, I mean, that starting 5 is, to me, is as good as any starting 5 in the country. And then they have the depth off the bench as well. So UCLA looks primed for another huge season.
And what an addition to add that young lady right there, Gianna Neepkin.